Principal Toiku, faculty and staff of Harmony School of Innovation Dallas, proud parents, and above all, graduates. Hello, members of the class of 2023. It is an honor to be here to congratulate you on this important marker in your lives. I'd like to sincerely thank the administration of the school and Mr. Toiku for inviting me to speak here today. It is likely that all of you will remember in some way today and your high school graduation, even if you do not remember this speech. In fact, I do not remember the speech of my high school graduation, and I don't even know if there's a recording of it. So with that, I hope there's to make this at least a short speech. I'd like to share a bit of my background as a student when I went to Harmony Science Academy in Austin. Indeed, Mr. Toiku, as I knew him then, and now Principal Toiku, has known me for years. I think since late middle school, when he came to the Austin Harmony campus for the first time. He knew me through high school, where I graduated in 2010. That was a while ago. But the years at Harmony from 2004, when I was in 6th grade, all the way to 12th grade graduation in 2010, were one of the most formative years of my life. And I still think of them from time to time. I think it's fair to say that undeniably everyone who gets the care and education from Harmony likewise has such an influence. Regarding the passage of time, it's interesting to consider how we mark it. When I graduated in 2010, I believe most of you were likely in kindergarten. It's interesting to think about where those adults are who were in 12th grade when I was in kindergarten. But consider that you too at some point will be at this point in time where you may be giving advice to people who are now in kindergarten. With respect to the passage of time, all I'd like to do in this speech is urge you to embrace the new chapter of life. The former chapter for you has been completed. High school is done. You stand at the door of the next chapter. And I'd just share a bit of advice as a fellow Harmony grad. So here are a few stories. Research shows that most high school commencement speeches give an anecdote or story. As now a professional researcher, I found quite a few such anecdotes and stories watching many commencement and graduation speeches for college and high school online. Rather than sharing one, I thought I'd share a few of my favorites that I discovered. The first is from the University of Texas commencement 2014 speech from a former Navy SEAL and Admiral in the U.S. Navy. He urged graduates to consider the lessons from a former Navy SEAL and former Navy SEALs in general, such as making your bed in the morning to achieving something tangible right at the beginning of the day, keeping hope, never giving up, and realizing that if you influence the life of 10 people and they influence the lives of 10 people, then you'll directly influence the lives of 100 people in your life. And that's a big achievement, not counting how many you indirectly influence. So those types of influences are usually small, but allow for the winning of small advancements in life. The second one I enjoyed was his 2012 Wesley High School commencement speech. The title of the speech, ironically, to the high school graduates was "You Are Not Special." At first, the speaker said how many high school graduates there are in the U.S. and how many things the students had identical, including the gowns everyone was wearing. He used other logical syllogisms, such as if everyone has the same award, then the award becomes meaningless. But that's only one perspective. The idea is that there's a commonality that high school graduates all share. But he used that to show that we have a common identity that we can launch from to make the world better, even in incremental ways. A high school diploma is something that can't be taken from you. As you go forward, remember how much you have in common with all the other high school graduates here and throughout the U.S. and the world. So don't listen to the idea that commonality is bad necessarily. In fact, it means you have common ground with many others. The third speech I really liked was from Conan O'Brien, at one time arguably the most famous comedian in the world, for the speech he gave to Dartmouth University's commencement address in 2011. He said to embrace the comedy of life and the sting of failures that may come from it. Conan thought he had a dream for years to have the best slot on primetime comedy television, but then it was taken from him, and in that year, after losing what he dreamt about for 20 years, he had the most unique and happiest time of his life. The lesson: realize that failure stings, but can sometimes lead to the reinvention of the self. Your dreams may change, and probably will change. Those are worthwhile dreams to pursue. But remember that even if you don't achieve them, you will change and your dreams will likely change too. The fourth speech I really enjoyed was Steve Jobs the former CEO and founder of Apple, who gave an incredible 2005 Stanford commencement address. Jobs said that you sometimes can't connect the dots until years after you realize they have connection. So sometimes experimenting with classes that aren't special, that aren't practical, can have the most practical effects. He said he took a calligraphy class in college that many thought was impractical. But later on, the lessons from that class ended up being a basis for the typography that Apple computers use. Embracing failure and keeping on going, even when the curveball comes in life, is absolutely important. Jobs said if you don't like what you're doing too many days in a row, you need to make a change. Today you are the new and hopeful, but in the coming years you will not be the new. So make sure the most of what you do with the time that is ahead of you and before you. As Steve Jobs said, your time is limited, don't waste it living someone else's life. The fifth commencement address I looked at was David Foster Wallace, an author of what many call the great American novel, Infinite Jest. Wallace gave a speech titled "This is Water" in his 2005 commencement speech to Kenyon College in Gambier, Ohio. Wallace gives a story of two fish swimming and seeing a third fish. The third fish passes by and asks, "How's the water?" One of the initial two fish asks the other initial fish, "What the heck is water?" The water is all around you. This is a metaphor for using our minds to think and see what is around us and obvious to us. This is perhaps the favorite one that I found. So what's the common theme in these speeches? We are not the center of the world, despite our perception telling us that our collection of experiences and friends and family showing us that we might actually be the center of the world. Indeed, on a comedic note, astrophysicists say that there is no center of the universe, so it can't be any one individual here. Capture the day as much as you can, but remember to be in the moment, not just to receive an accomplishment or to achieve something. In other words, follow the frequently quoted but true cliche that the journey matters, and all the events along that journey. Those are my favorite that I found. But here are lessons that I learned in life that are so general that I think can apply to any situation. First, I'd like to talk about the value of education. Nelson Mandela was known to say in various ways, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. He was right. Education, from what you learn from experience, reading, and learning of any sort, is the way that can help you in life. It can be immensely powerful, from helping you program a computer, figure out a logical puzzle, help you fix your car, help you fix a personal problem, a personal smartphone problem, to solving intense engineering issues that face humanity, or understanding humanity through poetry and literature. The only way to encounter all these practical problems is through education, whether formal or informal, whether it's reading a textbook, reading a manual, or reading instructions of any sort. The more you do this, the more you continue to educate yourself, the easier the activity will be, and the more free time you'll have. As I mentioned, I started in 6th grade with Harmony. I stayed there all the way to graduation in 12th grade. I've been told that some of you have been with Harmony since elementary. It was an incredible journey. During that time, we grow as humans, perhaps more than any other time period in our lives of that length. Harmony has invested you with a wealth of information from history, science, English literature, writing, language skills, and mathematics, as well as tools for critical thinking and engaging with new materials. In the next steps in Chapter of Life, you're going to realize that these are the building blocks to go forward. The poet William Butler Yeats put it this way: education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Just the same way that you think 6th grade math or history was easy compared to what you were expected to do in high school, so too will the high school learning compare to what lies ahead. So take the tools you have and improve on the road ahead. Likewise, embrace what lies ahead. But remember, Harmony will be here. Many of my classmates graduated high school and went to college and experimented with various aspects of their career, but kept in contact with Harmony. At one point, several of them returned to Harmony to work full-time. I myself enjoyed coming back on some occasions to volunteer as well. Here's a piece of advice. I would stay in contact with your members and the staff, your mentors and the staff that you know at Harmony. Those contacts could even be recommendation letters in the future. You never know, you might want to return to teaching or return to be part of the school in some way, such as volunteering. It will bring fulfillment and a potential network as you go ahead into the world. Likewise, when you enter the next stage in life, I encourage you to build healthy and positive relationships with your teachers, classmates, school staff, that you'll meet in the new chapter in life, as these relationships can have significant impact on your academic and personal growth. For me, Harmony fostered character development and skills through various curricular activities, clubs, and volunteer opportunities. Whether you engage in a lot of activities or stayed singular with academics in school, you and Harmony as a whole were able to foster and grow your character. David Foster Wallace, in his commencement speech that I just mentioned, said that life on the other side isn't so different. In a work environment, you still have the same semblance of a dress code. There will still be places you need to be at certain times. There may even be monotony to life, whether it's traffic, waiting in traffic, or getting groceries. So take every opportunity you can to grow, even in those moments. In conclusion, I encourage you to do your best, embrace failure, and remember to be kind to everyone. Attempt to treat everyone with respect needed in that moment. I have no doubt that you're well prepared for the future. Much of it is up to you, but always remember to ask for help if you need it. Congratulations to the class of 2023 Harmony Science Academy School of Innovation, Dallas.